Have you ever tried to resist your feelings? You must have tried to ignore them, push them away, and control them through various methods, such as taking medication and practicing mindfulness. However, despite your efforts, feelings continue to persist and affect your life. In this video, I'm going to share you Carl Jung's advice on how to solve this issue. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist and psychiatrist, once said, "What you resist persists." This quote holds immense meaning and reveals a lot about human nature and how we interact with the world around us. It highlights the power of our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors, and how they shape our experiences and shape our lives. To better understand this quote, it's important to first examine the concept of resistance. Resistance refers to our tendency to push back against things that we perceive as challenging, uncomfortable, or unpleasant. This can take many forms, including physical resistance, emotional resistance, and mental resistance. For example, a person might resist exercise because it feels physically demanding. They might resist a difficult conversation because it evokes strong emotions. Or they might resist a change in their routine because it feels mentally unsettling. However, as Jung suggests, this resistance has a tendency to persist and remain present in our lives. In other words, the things that we resist have a way of lingering and continuing to affect us. Even if we try to push them away, this is because our resistance to them creates energy, and energy attracts energy. The more energy we put into resisting something, the more it becomes a part of our reality and shapes our experiences. A real-life example of this can be seen in the story of a woman named Sarah. Sarah has struggled with anxiety and panic attacks for years, and she has always tried to resist these feelings. She has tried to ignore them, push them away, and control them through various methods, such as taking medication and practicing mindfulness. However, despite her efforts, her anxiety and panic attacks continue to persist and affect her life. In fact, the more she resists them, the stronger they become, and the more they shape her experiences. Sarah has come to realize that her resistance to her anxiety and panic attacks is actually perpetuating them. Her thoughts and behaviors around them are fueling the power and keeping them present in her life. Instead of resisting, she has decided to adopt a new approach. She has started to embrace her anxiety and panic attacks, to acknowledge them and accept them as a part of her reality. This has allowed her to release the energy she was putting into resisting them, and she has found that they are slowly losing their grip on her life. This real-life example highlights the importance of understanding Carl Jung's quote and the impact of our resistance on our experiences. It shows how our resistance to something can create a vicious cycle that perpetuates it, and how releasing our resistance can help to release its grip on us. This is a powerful lesson that can be applied to all aspects of our lives, not just to anxiety and panic attacks. For example, consider a person who is resistant to change. They might avoid taking on new challenges, seeking new opportunities, or trying new things. However, by resisting change, they are limiting their growth and experiences and perpetuating the status quo. On the other hand, if they were to embrace change and release their resistance to it, they might find that they are more open to new opportunities and experiences, and that their life becomes more fulfilling and meaningful. Another example of this can be seen in the story of a man named David. David has always been resistant to vulnerability. He has always tried to hide his emotions, avoid intimate relationships, maintain control over his life. However, by resisting vulnerability, he has found that he is struggling to connect with others, that his relationships are shallow and unsatisfying, and that his life feels empty and unfulfilling. David has come to realize that his resistance to vulnerability is actually perpetuating his problems. His thoughts and behaviors around vulnerability are preventing him from experiencing genuine connection and intimacy with others. Instead of resisting vulnerability, he has decided to embrace it and start to practice being more open and honest with others. This has allowed him to build deeper and more meaningful relationships and to experience a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose in his life. These real-life examples demonstrate the truth of Carl Jung's quote and the impact of our resistance on our experiences. They show how our resistance to things can perpetuate them and keep them present in our lives, and how releasing our resistance can allow us to experience greater happiness, fulfillment, and growth. In conclusion, Carl Jung's quote, "What you resist persists," holds a profound and transformative message for anyone seeking to understand their experiences and improve their lives. It highlights the power of our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors, and how they shape our experiences. By recognizing and releasing our resistance to things, we can break the cycle of perpetuation and find greater peace, happiness, and fulfillment in our lives. It is important to note that releasing resistance is not always an easy process. It can be difficult to change our thought patterns and behaviors, especially if they have been ingrained in us for a long time. However, with practice and persistence, it is possible to develop a more accepting and non-resistant attitude towards the challenges and difficulties in our lives. This can lead to greater self-awareness and growth, as well as increased resilience and satisfaction in our experiences. One effective way to release resistance is through mindfulness and meditation practices. These practices can help us cultivate a greater awareness of our thoughts and emotions, and to develop a more accepting and non-judgmental attitude towards them. By becoming more aware of our resistance and learning to release it, we can reduce its grip on our lives and find greater peace and happiness. Another way to release resistance is through therapy or counseling. Talking to a professional can help us to explore the root causes of our resistance and to develop strategies for overcoming it. A therapist can always provide support and guidance as we navigate this process and work towards greater self-awareness and growth. In conclusion, Carl Jung's quote, "What you resist persists," provides a valuable insight into human nature and the impact of our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors on our experiences. By recognizing and releasing our resistance, we can break the cycle of perpetuation and find greater peace, happiness, and fulfillment in our lives. Whether through mindful practices, therapy, or other means, releasing resistance is a valuable and transformative journey that can lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Please like and subscribe if you liked the video. I'll come back with better videos next time.